it's Olivia and welcome back to Live in Literature. Oh my goodness, it has been so long since I filmed a video, I almost forgot kind of how to do it. It's been a minute since I filmed for you guys. But since you've been gone! And so I'm really excited to be back. I took a little vacation break to go see my family and it was fabulous and lovely. And a little shout out to my mom. Happy birthday, Mom. It was last week.
Happy birthday!
And so I'm so glad that I got to take a little vacation. I'm sorry that I've been gone, but I am back.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back.
I don't know what that clip was. And I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop of kind of like what I've been thinking for the channel and like my overall thoughts and opinions. So I've decided to go to one video a week because of the editing and how long it takes me to edit a video. It takes
literally like forever, like literally forever.
6 to 9 months.
69 months?
No, 6 to 9 months.
And so I decided to go to one video a week, but we will have the occasional 2 videos a week if I'm feeling up to it. Maybe we'll have some special surprises in the month of April for a couple of 2-week videos. But until then, we're going to go to 1 video a week, and I hope that you'll enjoy them. And I'm going to make Fridays my posting day. So always be on the lookout for Live in Literature videos on Friday evenings.
It's all about branding.
So today's video, as you can probably see from the title, is a March wrap-up for all the books that I read in the month of March. And I read lots of books. I read 5 books this month. I know, thank you. 5 books this month. And I am so thrilled that I got to read all of these books. They're all amazing.
I have a very wide variety of literature today, and I can't wait to talk to you about it.
And I'll be giving you guys my ratings for each book, what I thought of the book, overall opinions, overall vibes, and would I recommend it for you guys to read it. So let's get started. And before we get started, I just would like to announce the winner of the book drawing, which was last week, and you guys had a week to sign up for the book drawing if you wanted a chance to win a new book. And the winner goes to, drumroll please, Kimberly Burfiend.
Congratulations, you're #1.
Is somebody smoking?
Thank you for
it's
a job
me.
well done.
So bored.
Thank you, Kimberly, for being one of my subscribers and for watching my videos. I'm so grateful for you. I will be sending you your copy of Leah Bardot's Rule of Wolves. It'll be coming to your house very shortly. I am picking it up today, and I can't wait for you to read it, and I hope that you enjoy it.
I'm #1! No child can beat the Grinch!
And I want to give a big shout out to everybody who entered the drawing. You guys are amazing, and I'm so grateful for you. It is such a pleasure doing these things for you. And I'm thinking that we'll have another book drawing very soon in the month of April, maybe at the end. I think our new goal is going to get to 200 subscribers, and so if we do, maybe we'll make it a 2-book drawing with a couple of extra goodies in there thrown in, like a little basket from me.
So here is my March wrap-up. Here they are. Aren't they beautiful? We have 5 books this month, and as you can see probably here, you're like, Olivia, there's only 4 books here.
That's shocking.
Yes, my 5th book is on a loan to a friend, but it's still being included in the review of all the books that I read this month. And I would just like to preface that
We have a large genre range in this month's wrap-up.
So we have pirates, we have fantasy in like a new kind of like Arabian Nights sort of kind of like side fantasy. We have urban fantasy in Greek mythology. We have a gothic or romantic gothic like haunting novel. And of course we have our historical fiction. So we have a very wide variety of genres this month. And I'm actually so excited. It's been really fun. A lot of them I really did enjoy. So I can't wait to talk about these books with you. The first book we're going to talk about is Namesake by Adrienne Young. This is the 2nd book in her duology called Fable. So here's Fable. This is the 2nd one, Namesake. Both of these books are fantastic. I do recommend you read them, and I'll give you a quick plot summary. So this 2nd book is all about Fable, more in depth as a character and more about her past. We learn a lot more about her familiar relationships with the people around her. We learn about her relationships with her mother and her extended family, I won't say who, and her dad. And then we also learn a lot about her and West's relationship in this, because we have a Captain West who is
Just, it's stunning, gorgeous pirate.
That's hot.
which I would say if you like pirate novels, this is a book you're going to want to read. Both of these books, Fable and Namesake, are books you're going to want to read. I really enjoy this book series. I think it's really cute. I think this was her concluding novel in her series about Fable.
I will say it wasn't the best pirate novel I've ever read.
Written. Okay.
That's the joke.
This isn't the best pirate novel I've ever read. I think it's really cute and it's really fun. This is definitely made for a younger audience. It's a really quick read. It's super short and super fast.
Cover's obviously really gorgeous, which, like, the cover's not always the biggest thing for me, but, like, whatever. It's not, it is for some people, but whatever. I mean, it's gorgeous.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. But what else?
What else?
So, yeah. But this wasn't my most absolute favorite thing I've ever read. I thought that the writing was a little bit cheap. I thought that the pacing was just like a little bit too fast. Like things just kind of like wrapped up and concluded a little bit too quickly. I wanted West and Fable's characters, like their relationship to develop a little bit more and have a little bit more like moments together and like why they liked each other, more like the development behind it.
But overall, a very fun pirate read. I really do enjoy a good seafaring adventure with
Some good, sexy pirates. It's good times.
And for that reason, I give Fable 3 stars, maybe 3.5. I'm willing to wager for it for namesake. The next book that I read is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. And I'm a little bit late on this one because apparently this one's been out for a while and everyone's already freaking the frick out about it. And the second one I just got, which is We Free the Stars. I just purchased We Free the Stars. I am going to read it and it will be in my wrap up for the end of this month. But here is We Hunt the Flame. And also, if I completely butchered her name, I'm so sorry, Hafsa Faisal or Faisal. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. You're fabulous though.
So this book is about our female protagonist, Zafira, and she goes into this, she's basically kind of like a Robin Hood type character. She'll go into the Ars, which is this like forbidden forest full of this like dark magic, like if people enter it, they go crazy. But she, for some reason, can go into it and hunt. I don't know. We're learning about it. So she can go into the forest and hunt, and she like brings back meat for her village and for her family and stuff and keeps them alive. So she's known as the hunter, and like she's known all over throughout her like land or whatever that she's the hunter.
And then we have Nazir, who is the brooding bad boy prince, who's basically an assassin.
We love him. We stand him.
Sorry, that's not what's important about him. He's really like, he has a really tragic past and he has a really soft, sensitive, deep side that we like come to know in this book, and I really appreciate his character. But yeah, he's also freaking hot too. Who knew vulnerability was so sexy? I did.
That's what I like about you. That's what I like about you.
It's really an incredible book. I really like the magic system. I really like, we have a little like camaraderie of friends that we meet along the way. And I've talked about this before. One of my favorite tropes is a group of people going to do a thing. There's nothing I love more than a group of people going to do a thing. It's one of my absolute favorite tropes. She established some amazing characters, but
Always a but.
I'll be honest, some parts of it were kind of boring. Like there was a lot of dead air, a lot of dead time. I feel like the relationship that was developed between Zafira and Nasir was developed far too quickly. I feel like they needed more time to like really develop. It was just kind of like, it was one of those like,
I looked at her and I was overwhelmed with like her beauty and like, oh my goodness, and now I'm like obsessed with her
kind of things. And I hate it when relationships are like that. I like when it's a growing thing. It can even be an enemies to growing thing. And originally it did start out as like enemies to a growing thing, which I really like when like enemies to love, you know, the enemies to lovers were like, I was really excited because I was like, ooh, we're gonna get a good enemies to lovers. And then it kind of turned from like enemies to love at first sight. That's kind of like what happened in the book. And I was honestly a little bit disappointed. I kind of expected something better from this book because everyone's been raging about it. It's still a fantastic read. I would recommend it to everyone. I think it's great. Everyone says the second book is even better than the first. So I'm really excited to test that theory and see if it's really true. Overall, I gave We Hunt the Flame 3.5 stars. It's a lovely read, a little bit lacking on the character development and like the understanding of the magic system, and a little bit lacking in the relationship department. But overall, really fun lore, really fun characters, and a really good time. Speaking of lore and mythology, our next book that I read in the month of March was Lore by Alexandra Bracken. And this was such an interesting book. Everyone has been freaking the frick out over this book, and I can see why.
And I'll be honest, it has been many moons since I have picked up an urban fantasy.
Besides Sarah J. Maas's Cross the City, but that doesn't count because it's literally perfect. There, I said it.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
It has been a hot minute since I've picked up like a true urban fantasy and a Greek mythology urban fantasy nonetheless. It gave me all the Percy Jackson vibes, which honestly I kind of missed.
Heads up.
Okay, this is going to be really confusing for me to explain, but I'm going to try to give you a plot summary of the book. Okay.
Lore is basically about this girl named Lore who ran away from her family's like opportunity to participate in the Hunt. And the Hunt is this battle that goes over the course of a week with the 9 Greek gods that are like still in the pantheon. And every year, people who are a part of those Greek gods' families have a chance to participate in the Hunt and essentially kill a god who is walking the earth as a mortal. And if they kill a god, then they get their powers. And then for the next 7 years, they get to be a god, and then they have to enter the Hunt again for a week after. And like every year, every 7 years, they get a chance to people get a chance to become Greek gods.
That made absolutely no sense. So just keep sipping.
I hope that made sense. That was probably the most confusing part of the whole book, was trying to understand like how the families work, how the agon, which is what they call it, like this hunt battle, whatever, how that works, and how like you attain the powers of like different like gods or whatever. Lore is part of the House of Perseus, and she's currently like hidden away. Like she doesn't want people to know that she exists, and she's just like hidden away. She doesn't want to participate in the Hunt. But an old friend of hers comes back from the dead, essentially, that she thought was dead, and they have to team up to basically essentially save his life, save a certain other god's life who I won't mention, and basically save New York. So this takes place in New York City, which is also kind of fun. Once again, Percy Jackson vibes, we love that. And overall, I really enjoyed the book. The mythology is crazy. Like, I was not expecting half the things that I read in there.
Ew.
I really appreciated Lore's character. I thought that she was really like interesting and complex. I found her very like relatable in a lot of ways. I really enjoyed the romance of this book. Yes, there is romance. Thank freaking goodness. We have
Praise the Lord!
Yes, we have her love interest Castor, who is a friend that she teams up with during this. And this is a quote unquote friends to lovers trope. And you guys know how I feel about friends to lovers.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
But in this case, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the relationship was very cute. I thought it was interesting. I didn't think it was as developed as it could have been. And that's going to be probably my biggest critique for all these books I read this month. The relationships just like were not getting like the development they needed. They were not getting like the step-by-step building foundation of a relationship. And I really like it when they do that and they like go through the things together. Granted though, this book is really about Lore. This is her book and this is her story. And I really appreciated that the focus was on her and her like redeeming her family and coming to terms with the things that happened in her past and like how her life is shaped and stuff. So I really appreciated that.
She's a very strong female protagonist, and I'm here for that.
She was incredible. I just thought that the romance was a little bit too quick. And the ending, I wasn't a big fan of the ending because it kind of felt like a Deus Ex Machina, which, whoa.
Oh, there's a $5 word for you.
Kind of felt very much like that, where it all just kind of like wrapped up way too quickly, and it was all just kind of like, oh, there's the end, like we wrapped it up, there it is, it's all pretty in a bow for you. And it just kind of felt like a cheap ending with such like, because it was such like a heavy battle, and it was such like a heavy like it was so hard like getting to the point in this book where like there was so much fighting and like so much like vigor and like fury, and I just wanted it to be this big explosive like concluding ending, and it kind of
just felt like meh. Like really anticlimactic, if I'm being honest.
But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the book. It's really great. If you're looking for something super unique and way out of your element, but you still enjoy like a fantasy, Lore is going to be for you. And for that reason, I gave Lore 4 stars out of 5. It is a great read. I thought the ending was a little bit cheap, and I felt like the character development needed a little bit more work. But overall, a fantastic book, really fun mythology, really fun location, really great characters. It's awesome. Next, we're stepping into a little bit of a gothic mystery, like scary romantic novel, and we have Down Comes the Night by Alison Saft. Yes, Alison Saft, I got it right.
People can do hard things.
This book kind of gave me Jane Eyre vibes. It has a very much like a play on the book Jane Eyre, and if you've read Jane Eyre, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
The book is about a girl named Ren Sutherland who has healing powers in her platoon of the military. Her aunt is currently the queen over the country that she resides in. Her aunt exiles her and basically banishes her from performing any healing because she disobeyed her commanding officer's rules. And then she decides to run away to this, like, the country that Ren's from and the country that they're fighting with are, like, at war with each other. And there's this small little country in between that, doesn't have magic, doesn't possess magic, but possesses a lot of like technological advancements, very like steampunk kind of vibes. Anyway, so she gets a call of aid from a mansion in the middle of this town, asking for help to save one of his dying like servants. The lord of the house wants to save one of his servants. So she finds out when she gets it that the servant that she's healing is none other than Hal Cavendish, the Reaper of Assyria, which is the country that he's from, and like she has to save his life, and they eventually like team up together and kind of trying to like figure out what's going on with this house, what's going on with the war between our two countries. The biggest plot hole is that there's missing soldiers and they're trying to figure out why, where are the missing soldiers, like all of this stuff.
So this is kind of like a play on Jane Eyre, like I said before. It's a play on like the haunting gothic part of it, like kind of like it's kind of like it feels kind of Victorian at times.
And this is kind of where the book has its downfall.
Everybody's a critic.
So I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was really fun. I thought it had great characters, really interesting plot, and a really interesting story. But it kind of felt like the author was trying to combine two different reading concepts in one book. It kind of felt like she was trying to do like a Jane Eyre thing, but with like a fantasy like war thing.
And in theory, it sounds really good, but the more that you read about it, it didn't quite mesh together.
Overall, I still really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was kind of a fun little like mystery game to play. I really enjoyed Hal's character. Hal is like very sexy. We love that. He's great.
I love men.
And I really appreciate the dedication in this book. So the dedication page in this book says, quote, "For all the girls who feel too much." Part of that. And I really enjoyed that because this book, like, our main protagonist, Ren, is very, like, she's just very emotional. She runs things, she follows her heart and she follows things through her heart, and she very just, like, thinks with her body than with her mind a lot of the time. I guess, I don't know if that makes any sense, but she just is very intuitive, and she is very, like, emotional. She cares about people. She has compassion. And I really like that as a concept because I feel like a lot of our protagonists, female or male, just lack a lot of those like empathy, compassion, kindness, and like those kinds of qualities. It's made to seem as like kind of weak. Overall, the book is very cute, very romantic. I once again also think that the romance needed a little bit more of a build-up. I felt like it was kind of like thrown together. I wish that there had been more of it, but I really appreciated their relationship. I really appreciated the moments that our two characters had together, Hal and Ren. I thought they were super cute. I thought that they like had great chemistry. I thoroughly enjoyed Down Comes the Night. I thought it was a great book, and I gave this one 4 stars out of 5 because it was so unique and it's something that I haven't read in a while, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. A plight could be made to say 3.5 out of 5, but I'm gonna give it 4 and round up. I enjoyed the book and I thought it was really fun. And last but not least, my one and only 5-star read for the month of March, the book that I lent out to a friend. It is Amy Harmon's The Songbook of Benny Lament. And now I already filmed a video for this book and I talked a lot about Benny Lament, and I just wanted to go give you a quick overview. If you have not seen that video, do go check it out. I talk all about Amy Harmon as an author and the reasons why I love her. And I also talk about Benny Lament and the reason why this book is literally incredible.
The Songbook of Benny Lament. It is a fabulous historical fiction.
It is about a man named Benny Lament, who is a songwriter, and he's also part of the Italian Mafia. His family is. Then we have Esther Mine, who is a black singer in America currently, and this book takes place in the 1960s, and so we have a lot of like civil rights and civil unrest. And one day, Benny is introduced to Esther, and she wants him to write a song for her. and basically manage her band that she currently has with her brothers. And as the story progresses, so does the romance, and basically the whole story is about how this like band took shape in the 1960s and like what they did, what Benny and Esther did as an interracial couple to further the movement against segregation and further the movement for civil rights for African Americans in America at this time.
And I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I thought the interpretation that she had for Benny and Esther's characters was beautiful. I thought that she gave a great perspective into what life in America was like at this time in the 1960s. I thought that Benny and Esther had incredible chemistry.
It sounds great.
This book, once again, it was a relationship built from the ground up. Every moment of this book was working towards a relationship. I thought that the relationship in this book was so beautiful. They built this gorgeous romantic relationship that just like took shape over the course of like these pages, and it was
beautiful, it was poignant, it was emotional, it made me feel all the feelings, it was glorious. I love it.
I love you, dog!
But I really, really loved this book. This was my only, like, this book blew every other book that I read this month out of the water. If I'm being honest, it did.
Hey, that's not fair.
It was an incredible book. It is so well written. And maybe I'm biased because Amy Harmon's one of my favorite authors, but I'm telling you, if you like historical fiction, if you just like historical fiction, I'm not going to give you any other reasons. If you like historical fiction, you need to read this book. It is truly one of the best things I've ever read. If you want to hear more about my review of The Songbook of Benny Lament, go check out my video that I already posted about it. Or if you want to check out more about Amy Harmon, do check out that video as well. I talk a lot about her. She's fabulous. But overall, The Songbook of Bang Lament, I gave this book 5 stars out of 5, a million stars out of 5. It is an incredible book, extremely beautiful, totally poignant, and very, very, very emotional. Well, that is all the books that I have for you guys today, and so thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, do not forget to like and comment and subscribe to the Live in Literature channel and share these videos with your friends so they can check out my channel. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. I have been so overwhelmed with the amount of responses that I get on my videos and the comments that I get, and when you guys reach out to me, I absolutely love it. But thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys are the best, and I love you the most. See you later. Bye.